Welcome to the members of the 50th Anniversary 2017 Upper Moreland Marching Unit Alumni Band! Every 5 years, Upper Moreland Marching Unit alumni come back to the high school to shake off the rust and join together to make music once again. We are thrilled to have alumni performing today from over 50 years ago alongside members of the recently graduated class of 2017. Each of these alumni are a special part of the history of our beloved marching unit, which has been the pride of Upper Moreland Township for many decades. Together, they've earned numerous awards and accolades, including 10 Cavalcade and USPA championships. But more importantly, they've consistently won the hearts and minds of audience throughout the region. While the marching band world continues to evolve in new directions, the one constant that remains, as the late Mr. James Vandergraft would say, as the late Mr. James Vandergrift would say, Upper Moreland Marching Unit students always act and perform with pride and class. Upper Moreland Marching Unit Alumni Band, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, this year marks a very special 50th anniversary of the Music in Motion Home Marching Band Show here at Upper Moreland High School. In addition to the wonderful alumni who have joined us today to perform with their old bandmates, we are fortunate to have numerous former marching unit staff and band directors with us. Without their dedication and years of service, our program would not be the shining example of excellence that it continues to be here in Upper Moreland School District. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge these individuals. First, I would like to recognize Mr. Ralph McCain, Mr. Ross Smith, Miss Maureen Perilli, Mr. Al Moffett, and Mr. James Vandergrift, who are no longer with us in body, but still very much a part of the UMMU spirit. We are honored to have with us tonight Mrs. Carol Moffett, a longtime supporter of the band, to help us honor the late Al Moffett and all those who have passed. Would you now please join me in a moment of silence to recognize and remember them? Now let us recognize the former directors and staff who have traveled near and far to be with us for this special event. Miss Pamela Gallagher, Assistant Band Front Director, 1968 to 1970, and Band Front Director from 1970 to 1977. Mr. Stephen R. Leonard, Interim Director and Drill Designer, Summer 1970, Indoor Guard Visual Designer 1992 and 1995, and UMMU Visual Designer 1992 to 1993. Mr. Dale Brown, Percussion Director 1970 to 1971, and Assistant Band Director 1994 to 2008. Mr. Jeff Twifford, Assistant Director, 1972 and 1973. Mr. James Holt, Assistant Director, 1973 to 1977, and Middle School Marching Unit Director, 1973 to 2001. Mr. Ted Brahoni, Director of Bands, 1978 to 1986. Mr. Ron Grassi, Percussion Director and Assistant Band Director, 1974 to 1976. Miss Julie Anderson, Twirling and Swing Flag Instructor and Band Front Director, 1978 to 1987. Mr. Steve Wojtovich, Show Designer, 1978 to 1982, and Band Director, 1987. Mr. Robert Barron Jr., Assistant Director, 1977 to 1987, and Director of Bands, 1988 to 2012. Miss Donna Barron, Color Guard Instructor, 1988 to 1997, and Color Guard Director from 2009 to 2012. Miss Liz Lee Overton, Color Guard Instructor, 1989 to 1997. Mr. Keith Overton, Visual Instructor, 1988 to 1992, and Drill Designer, 1996 to 1997. Mr. Chris Brown, percussion instructor, 1998 to 1999. Mr. Jeff Phipps, assistant director and drill designer, 2002 to 2007. Mr. Ken Brown, marching instructor and visual coordinator, 2010 to 2015. Ken was actually our chief judge tonight and is down preparing for the post-show judges meeting, but let's give him a round of applause anyway. Mr. Aaron Datsko, assistant director, 2012 to 2014. Let's take a moment to recognize the former staff members who could not be here tonight, and also the current marching unit staff who continue to keep the UMMU tradition alive and well. Mr. John Hummel, Lauren Penglass, Alex Clementi, Melissa Hindi, Travis Hill, Matt Salazar, Rob Waltz, Nick Hill, Jack Bear, Kate Fielding, Doug Penglass, Nicole Suchetti, Robin Bramley, Kendra Woywood, Alyssa Madrid, Emily Katzman, and band director, Mr. Glenn Cowan. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this applause going. This is 50 years of music in motion here at Upper Moreland High School, and to the thousands of lives that have been touched by this amazing group of educators. Everybody say, UMMU!